to a developing story in Arlington where some people are trying to come to grips with what they witnessed at a salon. Police are calling it a murder-suicide. And Tanya Iser just heard from some of the witnesses who feared for their lives.
Imagine a man sitting in a plush barber's chair on a bright Friday morning, the rhythmic hum of clippers the only sound in a room where he felt like a king. He is William Todd Austin Jr., the self-proclaimed credit champ, a man who built an empire on the promise of financial freedom. But as he relaxes into his routine, a shadow falls over the doorway. It is the mother of his child, a decorated veteran named Timone Michelle Williams, and she isn't there to talk about co-parenting. She is there to take back everything she believes he stole from her, and in a matter of seconds, the credit champ's life and her own would end in a spray of gunfire that has left the internet divided between grief and a chilling sense of understanding. Before we get to the blood-stained floor of that Arlington salon, we have to understand who these people were and the high-stakes financial war that led them to this moment. Todd Austin was a 37-year-old entrepreneur who seemed to have mastered the American dream. Known to many as Skril, he was the CEO of Credit Champs, a company that promised to fix broken credit scores and change lives. His social media was a highlight reel of success: expensive cars, designer clothes, and motivational posts about priority and purpose. On the very morning of his death, July 11, 2025, he posted one last piece of advice to his followers, stating that fixing credit should be a main priority because it could literally change your life. He moved from Kansas City to Texas, calling it the best choice of his life, and soon became a respected figure in the business community. But behind the flashy Cybertruck and the six-figure lifestyle, there was a different story being told by those who knew him best. Timone Michelle Williams was not just a girlfriend. She was a 37-year-old veteran of the United States Army and a powerhouse in her own right. Before she ever met Todd, she was a homeowner with multiple cars and a retirement check from her military service. Professionally, she was a financial strategist and CEO of Lux Credit Services. Those close to her claim that when she met Todd, he was far from the credit champ persona he projected. Allegedly, he was living in downtown Dallas using a CPN, a credit privacy number, because his own credit was in shambles and he was behind on basic bills like rent and cable. Timone's friends, including a woman named Nikki Hunter, claim that Timone taught Todd the credit repair business from the ground up, providing him with the knowledge that would eventually build the credit champ's brand.
Yeah, Michelle came from nothing. She built herself up as a veteran, as a successful business owner. Her knowledge, the things that she knew in order to get money to take care of her kids as a single mother. When she met Todd, Todd was living downtown Dallas under a CPN number. He did not know how to do credit repair. She taught him how to do that, and they built this business, Credit Champs, together. Whenever they broke up, because I see he's been sending his clients the video when she pulled the gun on him. She wanted him out of her house and he would not leave. There's an active restraining order right now against him. Terroristic threat against her and her son. He threatened to kill them both. Okay?
The tragedy of this case is that for a while, they were the ultimate power couple. In late 2022 and throughout 2023, they were building a business and a family together. On December 25, 2022, they welcomed their son, Amiri, whom Timone called her amazing Christmas baby. Timone's social media from that era was full of gratitude, with posts about being blessed and highly favored. Todd even shared a photo of her hand with a ring captioned, "Wifey, God is good." But the perfect image was a mask for a relationship that was rapidly disintegrating into a psychological and financial nightmare. The breakdown began when they separated professionally and personally. According to Timone's supporters, once the relationship ended, Todd began a campaign of financial unaliving against her. They had shared a joint business bank account for Credit Champs, but allegations surfaced that Todd removed Timone's name from the account and changed the recovery email so she had zero access. In one devastating weekend, while Timone was in Las Vegas, she allegedly returned to find that nearly $96,000 had been drained from the account, leaving her with pennies. But it didn't stop there. Todd reportedly used his access to her phone to drain her personal savings as well, including a $10,000 settlement she had received from the military. Perhaps the most sinister allegation involves the home Timon had purchased with her military loan before she ever met Todd. It is claimed that Todd filed fraudulent disputes on 18 months of mortgage payments that Timon had made from the business account. This move reportedly triggered a foreclosure notice, demanding $55,000 or requiring Timon to vacate her home within 60 days. While Timon was staring at a foreclosure notice and a drained bank account, Todd was allegedly taunting her, driving his new Cybertruck, wrapped in the Credit Champs logo, past her house, a sight she could see clearly on her Ring camera.
Todd reversed all of Michelle's mortgage payments up to I think 18 months, probably more, to the point she was about to lose her home. How he did this is because they have a joint bank account. He removed her off of the bank. I don't even know how he could have even did this, but he removed her name off the bank because she had no access. He created a new email for everything to go to, not the email that they had. Michelle went to Vegas one weekend, and she came back, and all her money was gone. Now, could you imagine having $250,000 or even $500,000 in your bank account, and now it's zero? You can't pay your mortgage, you can't take care of your kids. He's threatening you. He's not giving you nothing for your kid, okay? Michelle had several cases against this man. Okay, me as well had a lawsuit that I just won and got paid off a day before the murder-suicide. Michelle was suing him for a lot. He was taunting her by still promoting this company, still making money off this company that they built, not giving her access to any of the money. He also wrapped a Cybertruck, was riding past her house. She could see it on her Ring camera. He was taunting her. She was so full of debt. She was about to lose her home. The air went out in her Tesla. It was just a lot of stuff going on, and she had $0 to deal with her situation. She reached out to family. She reached out to people to help her, and only a handful of us helped her.
Just days before the murder, a court reportedly ruled in Todd's favor, granting him full ownership of the business they had built together and all 3 vehicles associated with it, leaving the veteran and mother of his child with absolutely nothing. Now, let's walk through the final moments of that fateful morning. July 11, 2025, 10:00 a.m. Todd Austin prepares for his day, oblivious to the fact that his final Facebook post about credit being a priority is already live. He heads toward the Salon and Spa Galleria in the 7800 block of South Cooper Street in Arlington. This building is a hub of independent suites where barbers, stylists, and nail techs run their own businesses. July 11, 2025, 10:15 a.m., Todd arrives for his regular appointment with his barber of 12 years, a man known as Dax the Barber. Dax later described their relationship as more than just client and barber. His clients were like extended family. Todd settles into the chair in Dax's suite, located toward the back of the building. Around this same time, Timon Michelle Williams pulls her white Tesla into the parking lot. She knows his schedule. She knows exactly where he is. July 11, 2025, 10:17 a.m., Timon walks through the front doors of the Salon and Spa Galleria. She moves with purpose, heading straight for the back where the barbershop suites are. She enters Dax's suite while Todd is defenseless in the chair. No struggle is reported. Witnesses say she simply pulled out a gun and opened fire. Dax the Barber, traumatized, later told reporters that she fired a burst of shots, striking Todd multiple times in the chest. The quiet salon erupts into chaos. People in nearby suites hear the detonations and begin to scream, locking their doors or scrambling for the exits. Timon allegedly tells everyone to get out and even tries to enter other stalls before the police arrive. July 11, 2025, shortly after 10:17 a.m., Arlington police officers arrive at the scene within minutes of the 911 calls. Cell phone footage from outside the strip mall captures the moment officers converge on the building with guns drawn. As Timon attempts to leave the building, she sees the officers outside and retreats back into the salon. Knowing there is no escape, she turns the weapon on herself. When the smoke cleared, the scene was horrific. Todd Austin was pronounced dead right there in the barber's chair. Timon was found still clinging to life and was rushed to a nearby hospital, but she succumbed to her injuries shortly after arrival. The investigation was swift, with police classifying it as a murder-suicide stemming from a domestic dispute. There were no other suspects and no further threat to the public, but the emotional damage was just beginning. The aftermath has been a battlefield of narratives. On one side, you have Timone's friend Nikki Hunter and a woman named Lita Davis, who dated Todd years prior. Lita Davis posted a detailed account claiming that Todd had a long history of deceptive behavior and manipulation, even alleging that he had different names on multiple child support letters. She echoed the claims that Todd would take ideas and business insights from the women he dated and pass them off as his own without credit. On the other side, Todd's friends have come forward to defend his legacy and attack the credibility of his accusers. One friend went live to clear the air, claiming that Nikki Hunter was never actually Timone's friend, but a former client of Todd's who was bitter over a mentorship dispute involving $3,200. This friend painted a picture of Todd as a legend and a goat who was taught everything by a mentor named Tedrick, not Timone. He even questioned Timone's financial status, mockingly asking, "Show me a $200,000 to $250,000 bitch," and claiming she was wearing rainbow clothing, implying she was not the successful entrepreneur her friends claimed. Despite the conflicting stories about who built whom, the legal paper trail provides a chilling context. In March 2025, Timone had successfully filed for a protective order against Todd on behalf of herself and her children. Court documents from that time describe a 2-year pattern of behavior she wanted protection from. Just 11 days after that order was filed, Todd was arrested and booked for violating it. There is even a recording allegedly from a Ring camera where Todd is heard shouting outside Timone's door, "Why the fuck code ain't working?" when she changed the locks to keep him out. The most heart-wrenching part of this entire tragedy is the children left in the wake of this violence. Todd Austin reportedly had as many as 9 children, while Timone had a teenage son in high school and their toddler, Amiri. Sources indicate that Timone's oldest son will go to stay with his biological father in Austin, and the younger children are safe with family. But these children will grow up in the shadow of a day where one parent took the life of the other before taking their own. Dax the barber, the man who sat in the front row of this nightmare, struggled to return to his craft. He eventually did a sit-down interview, describing how he tried to salvage his equipment only to find blood on his favorite clippers. "I can't keep my eyes closed too long," he admitted, "because I must see something I never thought I would see." He eventually relocated his business, supported by a GoFundMe started by neighbors he barely knew. This case isn't just about a jealous ex or a toxic breakup. It has reignited a massive conversation about financial abuse and the silent epidemic of domestic violence against men, as well as the desperation of women who feel they have been systematically stripped of their lives by the legal and financial systems. While some call Timone a demon for taking a life, others see her as a woman who pursued every legal avenue, restraining orders, lawsuits, and police intervention, only to watch the court hand over her business and cars to the man she claimed was terrorizing her. As the credit champs, Cybertruck was towed away, and Timone's white Tesla was tagged as evidence, the Arlington community was left with more questions than answers. Was this a calculated execution or the final snap of a woman who had nothing left to lose? We may never know the full truth of what was said in that barber's suite at 10:17 a.m., but the legacy of Todd Austin and Timone Michelle Williams will forever be a cautionary tale of how quickly a power couple can turn into a headline of murder-suicide. What do you think? Was Timone a victim who reached her breaking point, or was Todd a businessman whose life was cut short by a woman who couldn't let go? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like, share, and subscribe, because this is a story that the internet isn't going to stop talking about anytime soon.